Welcome back to the channel. Specifically, welcome to all the new subscribers we recently got. Derek Van Shake here. As I'm sure you know by now, Shane Dawson is doing a numerous part video series on the YouTube star Jake Paul. One of the questions Shane was aiming to answer was whether or not Jake is a sociopath. During this first part of Shane's series finale, the ex-girlfriend of Jake Paul, he interviews Alissa Violet. However, what insights can body language tell us, and what did she lie to us about in Shane's video? Now, let's analyze Alissa's body language and find out what we can uncover.
I don't know, I just want to tell my side. I don't really care, what people have to say.
Of course, the main thing we're trying to do is pick out any type of lie. A lot of people have this idea that, oh, well, if you make too little eye contact, you're automatically lying. If you're making too much eye contact, you could be lying. It's not cut and dry. It's not binary like that. You need to have a good baseline with her. All that nitty-gritty baseline analysis, of course, is done prior to me making these videos.
Or what Jake or Eric are, what they have to say. I want this to be my final thing to put out there and just leave with.
Right here, Alissa gives a little bit of a sad look with her mouth pointing down at the cheeks. It really shows authenticity of her just wanting this to be over with. She's done talking about it. She feels like it's a long time ago. She doesn't want to deal with it anymore. And of course, I'm not helping her cause because I'm rehashing it, talking about it, picking out where she possibly lied. So,
high five. Yeah, because I feel like you have tried to cancel this so much. Mm-hmm. What makes you nervous about it?
Just having my truth finally be out there and what really happened and just what I actually went through and not what I put out on my video.
Alissa is admittedly very nervous in this interview. Some of you said that, oh, well, if the interviewee is very nervous, you can't pick out whether the person is lying. That is completely false. Again, when we're picking out whether someone's lying or not, we're looking for how certain questions and how they answer certain questions make them act certain ways.
How did you join Team 10? How did you meet Jake? How did all of this really go down? Did he find you and cast you? Because that was a big thing everybody was talking about.
Yeah, so no. I was never casted.
And pause. If you notice how she said casted, meaning that she wasn't casted per se, but she was chosen to be his girlfriend on the channel.
I met them in Ohio and had a little thing with Jake for a while. And then that was a few days before I moved to LA. And then, sorry, I'm really weird.
Alissa acknowledges again that she's nervous.
Second I'm on camera, I freak out.
It's okay.
And it has no impact on whether or not I can read whether she's lying or not.
You can be in my videos where it's my thumbnail and all that stuff. When Vine was popping, he was yeah, you can, I'll put you in some of my Vines and then you'll get a little bit of a following and you can use that for modeling and all that stuff. And then, so I did.
And you guys weren't dating?
No.
Right there, she's telling the truth. She's looking him in the eye and saying it. In some of my other videos, people are commenting on whether or not a liar is going to look you in the eye or they're going to avoid eye contact with you. The reality is that it's going to vary some based on that person. Although some liars will look you in the eye to see if you're buying what they're saying, it's usually very obvious of their motive to look you in the eye. Because typically what they'll be doing is trying to maybe coax a smile out of you by them smiling, or maybe nodding their head to try to get you to start nodding your head with them. If you notice this part specifically, Alissa isn't doing that.
We never officially dated, ever.
Again, right here, Alissa is telling the truth. She is very congruent. Her body language, her facial expressions, and her tonality are all congruent with what she's saying.
Yeah. Which there's so many things out there oh, Jake Paul's ex-girlfriend, and I'm always known as the ex, but
yeah, literally, I'm probably gonna call this the ex-girlfriend, and it's not real.
No.
Again, truthful there, Alissa was never actually Jake's girlfriend.
Okay, so you weren't really official.
No.
Then what was it?
It was just hooking up, and I chased him for so long. I wanted him to be my boyfriend, and I was just so confused. I would confront him every day, being what are we? I need to know. This hurts so bad. Put me through so much shit. I need to know what we are. And he was always just brushing it off, being oh, I don't know what we are. We'll figure it out. I have to go to an audition. I have to go film.
Right here, let's play a game. If she smirks right after this part, she's lying. If she doesn't smirk, she's telling the truth here. Let's see what she does.
We never really established what we were.
She was telling the truth.
But we were together, but we weren't.
So you signed a contract with Logan?
With Logan and Jake.
What? What does that mean?
Just basically to sum up, me being in their videos, and then them helping me out with like following and like modeling and connecting me with their like people that they know for modeling or acting or whatever.
You being in Logan's videos too?
Logan
as
and Jake's
what?
videos. Just hot girl, I don't know.
When you were doing all those videos with Logan that were like, I stole your girl and all that stuff,
That was not real.
Right here, as she says, wasn't real. Meaning that it wasn't actually real and there's just a lot more to it.
That was just like me and like he just needed clickbait or he just needed like a...
I'm gonna use you for clickbait. No, and I got an idea. I'm gonna steal you from Jake.
Oh,
Because like he makes it think like you guys are like dating and you guys are like...
Like, oh, hey, let's come over for 10 minutes, like, just as a joke.
And that was kind of like a part of the deal, like the contract.
So that was for a 5-year contract. I signed it in 2015, and then after like a year went on, Logan like called me and was like, hey, like I don't really feel comfortable taking a percentage of you, like, or I'm like, you can leave the contract, like I just don't want to take a percentage of you. It just doesn't feel right. And I thought that was dope. I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, he was really nice about the whole thing.
This part is very interesting because she says that he was very nice about the whole thing, but she looks down and shakes her head. What that says to me is that she has some mixed feelings. Technically, that could be a sign of lying, but given the context and given the circumstances, I think what she's really saying is that she has conflicting feelings about Logan. She's kind of saying that, yeah, he was nice about this, but he was also not nice about some of the other stuff. Again, that's why body language is not binary. You need that context behind everything to make that proper assessment.
But
That's one nice thing you've heard about Logan in the last 2 months.
yeah.
Did you catch what she just did? I'll rewind it and play it back so you guys can try to pick it out for yourself. And pause right there. She is looking and touching her left ring finger. And if she was clearly doing this throughout the whole interview, it wouldn't mean anything. But when she's talking about Logan, she starts to touch her left ring finger, or the finger that she would have her wedding band on. Based on what I see here, based on what I know about the context of how she acted with Logan, it does appear that she had at least very strong romantic feelings for Logan. Also notice as she's touching her left ring finger, she's giving this radiating smile.
Yeah.
Interesting. What about Tessa? There is a lot of videos of him like kind of treating her like shit. Was that real? And was he kind of shitty with people in Teen 10?
Yeah.
Again, Alissa here is being truthful. Her body language, her tonality, and her facial expressions are all in line. They're all congruent.
So, your video, you talked about some like abuse, and that was a big thing, right? It was, you know, talking about Jake hurting you off camera and like being abusive to you was the tone of the video.
I wasn't like getting abused every night when he came home from work. It was never like physical abuse.
Now this part is a bit contradictory from what she said before, where she said that he was physically abusive.
There was some things, like if we filmed a video and he had to push me into a bush, normally you would just like nudge someone or pretend to push someone, like just act like you pushed harder, but he would actually like shove me.
I think what she's trying to do is not give him that physical abuser label.
Stuff like that, where he would just do it way too hard.
Ow, ow!
Yo, you guys wanna die?
And it was like, everyone would kind of be like, whoa, like, don't do that. And then one time we got into a fight, he broke my brand new phone, and then I took his phone to try to break it, ran upstairs, he dragged me down the steps, and that's true.
Did you notice anything different that she omitted before that she said now? Watch this.
He took my phone, threw it at the wall, we got into a fight, I ran upstairs, he dragged me down the stairs.
You see, she omitted that she was going to break Jake's phone in return. Of course, someone breaking someone's property doesn't warrant someone else physically hurting another person. That's obvious, but in this video right here, she apparently wanted to come across as even more innocent.
Was that in a video or in real life?
That was in real life. Stuff like that. I was never, and I want to clear the air because he's not like a physical abuser, like he's not an abuser, but it's mentally and emotionally 100%.
Truthful body language right here.
Every day, 2,000 times a day. I can't even remember a conversation where it was like me walking away like feeling good about myself. Jake lied and said that I cheated, which I never cheated.
Did she cheat? Did she not cheat? Which one is it? Her body language is congruent, so everything is in line, and she's not giving any signs of lying.
We were never together, and it was just bad.
Here she gives this blank stare almost right past Shane. Since I know the context here, since I know this overall situation, there just appears to be a lot of negative history that's flooding back to her right now.
I never like did anything to his head for a long time. He just kept, you know, like pushing me and manipulating me every single day, every single conversation, and I finally had enough. Should I get into the Logan shit now?
Did you catch anything right here? I'm gonna play it back for you to see if you can catch it yourself. She starts to give a little bit of a smile, but then quickly tries to mask it with a sad face. But what does that mean? The way that I took this was that she's feeling some mixed emotions. I think she's both happy that she did it, but then sad that she got caught.
So he went with all my friends, left me, and then I was so pissed off. I was so fed up. I was so hurt. I was so disgusted. I just was at my breaking point. And then I hit up Logan and I was like, yo, like, let's hang out. And then we all went to a club, like a bunch of our friends together. And then me and Logan hooked up.
Of course, this is true. Her body language says that, as well as everyone else acknowledges that it happened.
And I don't even feel comfortable saying that alone. Like, I'm still disgusted by it because it's not who I am. And it's not who I ever wanted to be.
I think she's feeling like she never wanted to do something like that, but given the situation that she felt she was put in, that was the best option she had.
But it happened. We were never dating. That's another thing. It's like everyone was like, you guys, Alissa cheated. Like, he cheated on her, then she cheated on him. We were never dating, ever.
More truthful body language, they've never been dating.
He was literally girls in front of me. Like, I would hook up with him. Sorry, Mom. I'd hook up with him. I would leave to go to my friend's house for like an hour, 2 hours. I'd come back, and then all of a sudden, knock on his door, like, hey, like, and then open up, there'd be a girl in there, and they'd literally be fucking right after we hooked up. And that happened not once, not twice, not 3 times, like so many times I've lost count.
She's being truthful again. She's looking Shane in the eye when she's saying that. There's no sign of coaxing of any sort.
Me and Logan were like close. We lived together. We all lived together, and like we kind of like established that friendship, like close friends. And then we went to a club like we normally would do and just hung out and then drank, and it was just a bad decision on both of our parts. We texted after and we were like, I was like, please don't ever like tell Jake, I don't ever want this to get out, like it was so stupid. And he was like, listen, like I'm a savage, I'm a maverick.
Oh.
I just feel like I was like a pawn.
She feels like a pawn? Play what's probably going through Shane's head.
And they don't care about them. There's no empathy for them. They're just tools.
They're always trying to one-up each other. Always. Like, so like I was just like a goal. Like I was just used the whole time. In Team 10, in videos, in Logan's videos, and everyone's videos. I was just like, I don't know. It was like they're playing a game and they're like the chess masters or whatever, and I was just a little pawn.
Look at Shane's face. Play the next clip.
To a sociopath, the world is a chess game.
Yes.
And all the pieces are people.
I think they just have this brotherly thing going on that's got taken too far.
I'm going wild. This song will be the death of you. I'm about to be an only child.
I was so worried about people calling me a whore and calling me all these names, but like I know I'm not. Mm-hmm. Like I've only had intimate relations with like a handful, not even a handful of people. Like I know I'm not a slut.
Does Alissa Violet actually think she's a slut? No, she does not.
So just the diss tracks were like, it was just a fun thing to do in the summer, and like no one knew it was like real beef because everything was kind of like a secret back then. But I filmed the video with Logan and that blew up, and it was a fun experience just being a part of it. It was a lot of fun.
You see how she gave a little bit of a smile and how she was remembering back to this point with fond memories? This goes back to what I was saying before, how she has mixed emotions about this whole Logan thing.
Crying, and I called Logan. I was like, hey, is this a good idea that I'm like on this diss track with you? Like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't want to hurt Jake.
Oh, that's Alissa Violet. Used to be your chick. Now she in the low gang and you know she on my team.
I just basically asked him to come downstairs and talk to me about it, and he was like, like, no, I don't have time, like, I have to edit this, I have to post this. Listen, Alyssa, like, I already have, like, your approval of being in this video, like, I don't care about what you say now if you don't want to be in it, like, I have you on camera saying that you're excited, so you can't, like, legally do anything to me, like, I'm gonna progress no matter what you say, so I'm gonna post this, and, like, no matter what you have to say, and that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, Logan.
See how her mouth is turned down here? It's a sign of authentic, sad, and disappointment and emotion that she's feeling toward Logan Paul.
Like, I just didn't really f them after that.
Literally.
Clearly, Alyssa was telling the truth through most of the interview, but her body language showed that although she doesn't like Logan now, she appeared to be more attracted to Logan than Jake. Now in the comments, do you think Alyssa was more attracted to Logan Paul than Jake Paul all along? Let everyone know in the comments below. If this video gets over 24 likes, I'll know you enjoyed it and want to see a body language analysis on Shane's long-awaited series finale interview with Jake Paul. So remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on new insightful body language videos, and I'll see you at the top.